Hello. This week we're going to talk about whether something is a function or not. We've been talking about the idea of a function and what it means, and some of you know for every input there's one and only one output. And we get those ideas as the vertical line test. Um, but a function is key because when we ask the function a question, when we give the function an input, no matter who does it, wherever in the world, whenever, the output will always be the same, right? So if I know that something is a function, I can give it information and then boom, I will get back exactly the right information, and it doesn't matter who or when or where um, we're talking about it. So anyway, we need to be able to do that with graphs and with tables. With graphs, it's nice and easy. Let me give you a quick sketch of a graph, right? So this graph is a linear function, right? Um, and if I give you this as an input, you give me that, you look here and you go, oh, there's my output, Mr. Lynch. And no matter who in the class does it, if this is their input, this is where they're going to look on the graph, and they're going to come over here and find the output. In, out. Totally a function, right? If the graph gets more complicated, oftentimes it can still be a function. This, no matter where I choose on this graph, if I say that this is my input, boop, 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 that's going to be the point that I look at. We're going to give me that as my output. And it can even be the same output. Let's say that I pick that point. Well, that would be the point on my graph, and maybe the output's exactly the same. So what we're talking about here is the vertical line test. There is no place on this graph where I could draw a vertical line that it will cross my function more than once. Right here, crosses one time. No matter where I draw this vertical line, it only crosses my function once. So for every input, there's one and only one point we're looking at. And so there's only one output. Versus, let's look at this circle. I know it's not really much of a circle. If I pick a point out here, there's nothing associated with it. This could still be a function. If I pick this point right here, we could go, oh, look, 1 point. No matter if I give everybody that point, they'll all come up with the same answer. No problem. However, if I pick a point or a point right here, whoops, I missed it. If I pick that point right here, there are two possible answers. One answer is this one down here, and one answer would be that one up there. And if there's two answers, not a function. Right? And it didn't pass the vertical line test. So the vertical line test tells us whether something's a function or not. If I draw a vertical line and I can go through two or more points, not a function. So not a function. I'm going to do one more example of not a function. So if I have this thing that does that, this here, function, uh-oh, not function. Therefore, the whole thing is not a function. Okay, so that should be pretty easy to do graphically. And that's going to be the first part of your assignment. The second part of your assignment is to do it with a table. With a table, what we're going to look at is the inputs and the outputs. And so if we have, here's my table, if we have the numbers 2, 3, 5, 7, 9, and the outputs are -3, 2, 8, 8, 5, right? For every one input, there's only one output. And if we look here, 2, 3, 5, 7, 9, well, those are all different inputs. So it has to be a function because 2 has -3. No matter what I ask you for the input, if I tell you 7, you tell me 8. Everybody's going to tell me 8, or should tell me 8. So this has to be a function. This double 8 might scare some of us. Still a function, because this is the output. It's okay to have double information for the output. And now I'm going to show you something that looks a little weird. I'm going to change that 5 to a 7. Now is it a function? Well, if I ask you f of 2, there's only one answer. If I ask you f of 3, there's only one answer. What if I ask you f of 7? How many answers are there? Even though it's written twice, there's still only one answer. And because there's only one answer, this is a function. Because there's only one answer. But as soon as I do this, boom, not a function, because if I ask you what f of 7 is, some of you might say 9, some of you might say 8. Hard telling, not knowing. So, not a function, okay? Last little piece of this. Other things can be, we can consider other things a function, like trying to think. If we think about who is working at the school, right? If we think about your the people working at the school and their jobs, we could say me, Mr. Lynch, right? My job is math. And then we could say Mrs. Lynch, and her job is history. And we could say Mr. Kenny, and his job is the principal. So far, this is a function. My inputs are all different, and 3 different jobs. They could have been all math teachers. It doesn't matter. But Mr. Lynch, me, I have one more job, right? I have a soccer coach. Now it's not a function because Mr. Lynch, your answer could be, is a math teacher or a soccer coach? I don't know. Now it's not a function. Okay? Hope that helps. Good luck.